To admit it's getting better, a little better all the time. I have to admit it's getting better, it's getting better since you've been mine.
It was a process of self-discovery about not only the stigma of mental illness to be conquered, but also how I'm a valuable person.
Even on bad days when I'm not feeling too well, when I do come in here, I'm glad I come because I end up feeling better at the end of the day.
There's someone responsive here, you know, so I'm validated for everything that I do.
People who struggle with mental or developmental disabilities not only fight for resiliency or recovery, they struggle with building a meaningful life. There's an organization in the community that's been helping its clients build relationships and skills and achieve all they can for over a decade.
JRS was established to help people who need support and rehabilitation on a day-to-day basis because of either psychiatric or developmental disabilities, get the help and the opportunities that they need to lead productive and satisfying lives in the community.
JRS originally started with a residential program, Leonard Stacy House, which became home to 8 people with a history of chronic and persistent mental illness. A few years later, another residential facility, Charles Morris Hall, opened for adults with developmental and cognitive disabilities. The JRS Supportive Housing Program, where people live in apartments scattered around the Squirrel Hill area, offers its program participants the individualized services they need to live successfully in the community.
I think I'd be a different person if not for Stacy House.
I came in August of 1993.
And where were you living before then?
I was at Mayview State Hospital of all places. Staff and residents make a special effort here. We have respect and help one another, and it's just much better for me.
JRS staffers provide a variety of services to their residential program participants. In addition to providing ongoing emotional support, they help them develop skills, from the basics like doing laundry and budgeting and money management, to learning how to make friends.
She checks my menus and my grocery list and things, what I'll need for my budget and what I won't need. And she says I could send away from something from American Girl catalog every 3 months.
Some residents require daily contact and assistance from staff. Others are on a maintenance monitoring status and might be seen as infrequently as once a month.
We really do go with where the need is, you know, through assessing, through visiting, through contact with the individual and determining what those needs are and what they want, you know, because we have some people who really realize when they're going through a rough time and really need more support.
Socialization is one major focus of the JRS housing programs. Though program participants have their own kitchens, they often gather for communal meals. They take trips and outings together, hold house meetings, and have even developed a social network that's building one-on-one relationships.
I like going to Shabbat dinners, going on trips, and doing things with staff.
The success of the residential program is evident. There's a waiting list for some facilities. The need is great, and the financial needs ever evident. Though JRS receives funding from several sources, in the face of government cutbacks, financial stability is tenuous.
Every year is a challenge. We want to develop new services, and we are really hoping to be able to develop another residential program for adults with developmental disabilities or with cognitive disabilities. We want to expand the services that we already have. We want to grow our supported housing program, and we want to continue growing the clubhouse as we have been for the last couple of years.
Meeting residential needs is one thing JRS does successfully, But it's not the only issue facing JRS clients.
Although people were less isolated socially than they had been, they still had social isolation issues that weren't going to be completely taken care of by a residential program. And people were not having any success whatsoever in terms of getting ready for or finding jobs.
JRS found and adopted the Clubhouse model, which provides pre-vocational training as part of a broader psychiatric rehabilitation effort addressing the areas of living, learning, working, and socializing for people with a history of serious and persistent mental illness. The Howard Levin Clubhouse, located on Murray Avenue in Squirrel Hill, serves dozens of people each week, providing job readiness activities and transitional employment opportunities, in addition to a supportive and empowering environment.
The Clubhouse model is a model of rehabilitation that revolves around the principle that no matter how disabled a person is, everybody has the ability to be productive, and being productive is an essential part of a quality of life.
One Clubhouse member now employed is Jenny. She works 20 hours a week at the Jewish Community Center in food services.
It's a lot of work, but it's a good job, and everybody that works here enjoys it, and it's a lot of fun. Happy day. Paycheck. It's very cool.
Clubhouse member Richard is also working now, using the skills he learned at the Clubhouse's Business Employment Unit.
At the United Jewish Federation, I'm now an office support employee. I have to admit I am growing from the UJF, but now I'm getting paid to grow from the UJF. I've started a savings account.
When Richard came to Clubhouse as a freshman in college, he was barely functioning.
1/4 of the way into my first semester, we discovered the Clubhouse, and I would not have passed that first semester without the Clubhouse. The Clubhouse makes it so that the person is always the focus, not their illness, not their disability.
Well, I work full-time now, and so I come Friday nights and help cook for dinner. And any of the parties that are needed, I come. And if I can take annual from work or sick leave, if I'm feeling depressed or down, I come here. It just works. It just works.
We've gotten really good at engaging people who really feel isolated and fearful of working in groups.
They've saved my life, actually. I have more confidence in myself. I have a higher esteem about myself.
They really affect people from all levels of functioning.
Mental illness and developmental disabilities affect more than the individual. JRS recognizes this and provides support to families as well.
In many cases, we're changing the life of the family as much as we are the life of the individual.
A lot of times agencies, welcome someone in their community and somehow they leave the family out. We really try to keep that family involved in the person's lives and throughout just sort of their time with us. So it does become this overall community and this overall place of safety.
In some JRS programs, family members have formed their own support groups.
We, the parents, as we gathered in my living room months after months and struggled to start something, we formed a very strong bond which exists to this day.
Family members are invited to serve on the JRS board to contribute valuable insights, and JRS staff help them develop relationships with each other and the agency to ease the transition of their family members from living at home to living independently. But it's not just the assistance the agency provides that eases the way for families. It's much, much more.
I've spoken with a number of aging parents who have been caring for their now well into middle-aged children for decades, who have just been so relieved to have a feeling that not only is there now an agency that will care for their family member, but it's an agency that they really have a sense can do some of the things and care in some of the ways that families can. I have had more than one family member say to me that for the first time in my life, I feel like now it will be okay when I die. So that's something that is hard to imagine people struggling with.
When you have a child who is out of the mainstream, you have responsibilities and you have isolation. JRS helps so much.